Thanks for joining me here again on Sunshine Forest on Farming Simulator 25. It's episode 5 with me, MrSealyp.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's 11:21. If you've followed and watched the last episode, you'll know that we started mowing. The mowing is done. Took a little while, but we got it done. And I'm just sending the train this way, actually. That can go. What I've also done is pre-ordered and rented, or leased should I say, a couple more bits of equipment to help us with our project. I have been offered something which I'm not going to go into just yet, but we're going to be making hay, not grass. I don't think we're going to do cows. We're definitely going to do sheep. We might do pigs at some point, but we're definitely with sheep and goats. But I don't know about cows yet. Chickens probably, but maybe on a smaller scale. Not too sure. It depends what crops we do. So anyway, I've got this rake. And this was 900 and something, 986 I think it was to lease. If we go into Windrows, just there. Actually, how much was it? Let's click on that. I didn't change anything. Oh, 969, that's not too bad. And then we've also leased a tedder. So what I'm going to do, we've got that one there. I think that worked out 80, I think it was. So we're going to rake up the grass we've got into windrows. Then we're going to use the smaller tedder to windrow them. Now, as we found with using ones like this, it used to bring it all together a little bit. Some of these were spreading out a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to ted everything we've windrowed, so it'll be grass, then hay. And then if it has spread it too wide, I'm going to then re-rake it so we've got nice, neat swaths. I still haven't worked out how we're going to pick it up yet, because, I mean, to be fair, we can lease a forage wagon, but they're not cheap, and even the smallest one, which wasn't cheap, I suppose we don't have to buy one, we can just lease one. It was only 23,000 litres, which might be a bit of a problem. Anyway, all that being said, what we're also going to do is, while we're doing this, when we rake up around where our tent is and where our workshop is, I'm going to put in a, well, it's not even a hay loft, it's a hay stack. I guess it's a hay stack. There are two different options on this. There's a drier one, so you can ferment your stuff, or there's just, basically it's just a hayloft. So I'm going to put in the hayloft one, and I think it's only 500. I'm sure it's 500. I'll show you that as well, actually, before we get down there. I'll have to wait till we're raked up before we can do it. Oh, there we go, straight there, look. Under silos, yeah, haystack. It's in the fermenter and dryer mod, but that's just the haystack. With a fairly large capacity as well. 500, we'll put that down, so that when we have made our hay, the hay can all go into that, it's stored, then we're all right then moving forward to decide what we're going to do. And then what we're also going to do, hopefully, is I'm not going to put you through the, me doing all of the raking or anything like that. We're going to sort out, hopefully, might have to do a bit more logging off camera as well to get a bit more money back into the bank. We're going to do our long grain rice field and then plough out a field for corn. I've also found, and again I might lease, but I said about planters and seeders. Under planters I found these, and that one is 2.3, that's a 3.1, is it? 3.1 metre for 23 grand. The smaller one's only 20 grand, but 23 grand, that's not too bad, is it? And they're direct drills as well. That one's only 26 grand, and that's a 4 metre. Direct drill, 90 horsepower required, 110 horsepower required for 30 grand. Can't go wrong. Planter for 30 grand, direct drill. We've got the horsepower to pull it, 5 metres. That's a no-brainer. So then we can do all those crops as well. So, but again, I'm going to need to do some more logging to be able to afford that. So what we're going to do now is open it out. I think this only requires something like 35 horsepower, this rake, which is brilliant. Now, Nina has reached out about a couple of things, actually. She said about once I've gone around my boundary, what I could do once I've done this. This doesn't turn on, this just dropped down. If I get right to my edge, I have to be careful where the trees are, but... So as we're going around and doing this, trying to avoid hitting those if we can. Come on, just pull past it, there we go. So once we've done all around the edge, and we've got a gap, blimey, what a palaver, and we've got a gap, is then maybe go around with a landscaping tool and put a little gap. Not very big, but just follow the line we've got, because we have actually gone over a little bit. I think especially a couple of places we've gone over into land that's not ours. So put a little strip, landscaping strip, no grass on it, just a dirt texture or something like that, right the way around the outside for our boundary, so we know where our boundary is. Then we haven't got that worry then, and then what I can do then is take all of these out, and then I haven't got to worry either driving into them or hitting them with the rake, as you've just seen there, so we can gradually go around and do that. That's a good call. I like the idea of that. Let's get our lights on. I need to make sure I do overlap this a little bit, because I want to make sure I get all the grass in from the edge, because you know, like I say, we did go over our boundary, so there might be a couple of areas where it won't let me pick the grass up, but that's not a problem. Avoid that if we can. There we go. Excellent. Oh, I've missed some bits. Not horrendous, but yes, I've got this. Is going to take a while. As you can see, we did a lot of mowing. We've got a lot of grass to collect, or say a lot of grass to collect, a lot of grass to turn to hay. It's very dirty Harry, isn't it? Go ahead, rake my day. No? Okay. Again, just me then. Just me laughing at my own jokes. My own stupidity. I thought that was a good one. Like that. Yeah, any bits we miss, it's not the end of the world. Especially if we're going to put a boundary in as well. Excellent stuff. So, rakeage. And we'll see how we get on with our... I moved the weight out of the way as well. I left that, didn't I, in the middle of the field. We'll come back for that later on. And we'll see how the tedder works out. So what I'll probably do is I'll see you in a bit when we're onto the tedder. Try the tedder, and if the tedder spreads this, because this is actually, like I say, I haven't decided. I've done it again. Haven't decided how we're actually going to pick up all of this. I've just got a funny feeling that that little tedder is going to spread it out again. So we might need to re-rake. Or what I might do when we've done the hay is re-rake it into. So take each two and rake it into one. So we've got less windrows, but more in each one. That I think we might do that. I don't know. It's all ideas. We'll get there. It just seemed a pity to waste all of this precious grass. Righto! Time to move on. Raking has been done. Now it's time for tedding, and this is what I was talking about. I think this is probably going to spread it all back out again, but you know, I can always rake again. It's not too much of a problem. It is taking a while, but I don't mind. Having a great old time. Do I unfold this? I don't think so. Just turn it on. Drop it down. Wowzers, okay. Yeah, that's yep. We're going to need to re-rake. Still, it's easier doing it like this, and it's a much cheaper option. So we'll just crack on. I mean, that's the plan. Such that it is. I hope everyone's well. Have I said that on the video already today? Hope everyone's doing all right. We're off to we've got a busy few weeks actually coming up. We've got all sorts of stuff. We're rapidly heading towards FarmCon again. What's that, 8 weeks away? Something like that? Beginning of July? Yeah, something like that. But we are going to the Nottingham show. We're going back up to see Nina and Brian at the farm. And we're going to go to the Nottingham show on Saturday, I believe it is. So if anyone's at the Nottingham show, we'll be about somewhere. I'll probably be filming stuff as I do. When we get around the other side, I can't remember again if I showed you, this has been some time in the making.
with one thing and another, which will become more apparent. Well, it depends when this video posts, actually. If this video posts after the video I'm talking about, it will become obvious. But I've been doing some testing, and yeah, some very cool news, some exciting stuff. But yeah, so we're off doing that. Myself and MrSealyp. I need to go to the left hand side of this one. I did end up raking it. Oh no, did I leave some there? I did leave some there. I've got more trees to cut down. We're going to be doing that as well, because like I say, I need more money, so we need to invest a bit more time in getting some trees down, because we've got 30 grand, but obviously there's so much more equipment and machinery we're going to need. Obviously we've still got to put in our long grain rice field. We're going to plough out a field for our corn, and we're going to be putting in an animal pen. But yeah, so I just thought, it suddenly popped into my head. I suddenly thought, it's that thing when you're organising your time, you know, and you're trying to sort out the things you need to be getting done. It's always that thing before going away, even if it's just overnight for a couple of days. I'm going to go up to when I go to Colchester to spend any time with my brother and his family. We might go Saturday lunchtime and come back Sunday. But it's that thing of, you know, do I prep something? Do I get a video up before I go? You know, how much can I prep before I go? And then I think in a couple of weeks after that, myself and MrSealyp are off up to the lakes. We've got some stuff we need to do. Yeah, again, there's some things I can't talk about for various reasons, but family stuff and things like that. But yeah, so we're heading up. But I think that's a shorter break. We're not going for like a full week or anything like that. But again, I don't know if I'm taking my PlayStation with me. Potentially there might be mod reviews, or I might do a couple of live streams. I might do a walk and talk. At this moment in time, I'm not too sure. So what I was going to show when we get back over to our encampment, which it is at the moment, it is our... We're not quite a homestead, farmstead yet. We are more of just a blot on the landscape. Wow, that takes me back. Do you remember that series? Was that on John Suchet's show? I'm sure it was Plot on the Landscape, wasn't it? Anyway, yeah, so we put in... I can't remember if I showed me putting in. We put the post in. So this is, there, haystack. The silo is empty. So once we've produced our hay and we've collected it, we'll bring it here, put it into the haystack, and it will form a haystack around it. And that will give us our feed for, we're going to be doing sheep and goats. That's the plan, at least. Blimey, I can't believe I just remembered Plot on the Landscape. I mean, that was my dad used to watch that. I don't ever remember watching it, but I know my dad raved about it. I don't know. I was a kid at the time. It gives you some idea how long ago it was. Which is quite terrifying, really. So, anyway. The continuing saga. I'll get the hay done, and then I'll probably re-rake, and what I might do is rake 2 rows into one. And then that way we haven't got as much to do as we go around. Actually, what I think I'm going to do as well, because I think it'll work out cheaper, and I'll get the standard version, so there's no nefariousness. Oh, why not? That's curious. Oh dear. Oh no, I obviously haven't got it ready. In the Tardis pack, OmaTana's Tardis pack, there is a forage wagon, and if I get it in standard capacity, I'm sure it works out a cheaper version than the standard version of it. Like I said, the standard, like the base game version. Assume there is a base game version of it. And I'll get it in standard capacity, and we'll just go around a few times, collect it all up, drop it all off, and then it'll be on to creating our fields. It's not all logging. There is going to be logging. Like I said earlier, you know, in previous episodes, the logging is a means to an end. That's what we've got to do. That's part of our mandate of being here from the ministry. But what that's going to do is enable us to buy and pay for the other stuff we need to do. Is there a big payout from the ministry? Someone actually did message me and say it doesn't make any sense. If you turned up with no money and the ministry aren't providing you with anything, you're paying for everything, why are you working for them if you're not being paid? Well, at the end of it all, there will be a payout. The ministry will pay me for the services, for the things we've done, but it's that kind of, we have to absorb the upfront costs, and then at the end of it, once it's all done, it gets a sign off from the ministry, and then we get a payment. That's called thinking on your feet. Anyway, yes, we will. We'll get a payment of some description. I don't know what yet. Next step, we're back up at the loading dock. I had to order some diesel because it's only dawned on me. I was in the old jalopy doing my thing and looked bottom right and realised we were in the red on fuel. And I drove up here and drove around and suddenly realised we don't have there's no gas station, there's no fuel pump. So I had to, we were going to get the forage wagon. Standard capacity, 26,000 litres, no extra width or anything like that, just as it comes. That cost £2 grand, £2.5 to lease. No, one or whatever it was. Anyway, and these were 1,250 each, so each holds 1,000 litres. So we can either leave them up here or leave one up here, take one down at some point. But I am going to need to refuel. So what we'll do is just get a bit of fuel in, grab the wagon, head down. What I'm also going to do is get a stump grinder. That was the weirdest feeling. Oh my God, I didn't even see that. Oh, I feel quite sick. How strange. As I spun the camera around and the train was moving past, I felt like I was falling. Oh, wow. Blimey, the feeling of nausea that just came over me then. Oh. Crikey. Whew, anyway, yeah, I'm going to get a... Careful. This dock is really steep. I might see if we can... Oh, there's not a lot of gap round it anywhere, is there? Maybe off this side here. There are some different ramp mods, aren't there, available? Maybe stick another ramp in. Anyway, yeah, so I'm thinking if we go... What was I just saying? Oh, yeah. Sorry, that really threw me. Stump cutter, there we go. How much is that to lease? Oh, 1,377. Right, let's lease that. Let's say cut the trees down and we'll cover the cost of that. And what I'm going to do is the stumps that we've already done, I'm going to need to come and sort those out as well. Because if we're going to sort out putting in a long grain rice field and then plough out for a field, I don't want the stumps in the way. And what I might also do is these types of trees we're going past now, we've got a few of those on the property. We've got some bigger trees like that, which I think I'm probably going to leave. I'm going to try and thread my fields in between those. That's what I'm hoping. So hay's all done. It is all windrowed. I windrowed it double, so 2 windrows into 1. So it shouldn't take as long to get around. I'm just hoping the pickup on this is going to be wide enough. Should be, and we're going to do our first load into the into our new hay loft, hay stack thing, which I haven't tried yet. So, oh, well, that was something. I'm trying to think. Have I showed you yet? I don't think I have showed you yet. I took out all of the little scarecrows, and I put in almost like a perimeter track. We kind of landscaped. So we just scuffed the land right around the perimeter, so when the grass regrows I know where our boundary is. And also when we're making fields or whatever we're doing, I can see, obviously with the grass cut, that's easier now. When the grass grows back, it's hard to differentiate between what's our land and what's the land over. So that little strip round, and that's just on the edge of the land we own. We've lost very, very little by doing that. Possibly extravagant, possibly not needed, but Let's see how well this picks up. Yeah, it's missing some bits. I think doing a double wide, I might have to go over these a second time, potentially. But it's doing all right. Just curious to see how much we end up with. Whether the end result was worth the grind. When I say grind, like I say many times before, jobs like this, it doesn't bother me. Yes, it can prohibit getting videos out as regularly as, you know, it depends what you're doing between episodes. Sometimes you can do a sort of episode where you're doing just odds and ends around the farm and it's just your daily sort of catch up of what you're doing. Other times you've got big jobs that need to be done between episodes, and those are the ones that take the time, you know. So what we'll do, actually we're almost full. If I spin around to do in front of our tent, and then I'm not sure which side our unload point is. We're going to do all right out of this. Actually, we're going to have plenty of hay, aren't we? What did I say? It was 26,000 litres, isn't it? I'm sure it's 26. Let's get this bit round here. Although maybe we'll be all right. I thought I'd missed some bits initially, but maybe not. There we go, we're full. So I've got to drive over here and hopefully we'll get a thing come up. There we go. At what point do we see some hay forming on the haystack? Oh, is that it? Is that what we put in there? We've got 26,000 litres in there, so I don't know, I'll just keep going, I suppose. That's weird, isn't it? Turn it on, drop it down. Let's crack right along. So, same as with the other jobs. Well, I don't know whether will I show you? Maybe I'll show me doing a couple of stumps. I might do a little minor mini montage, maybe. But like I say, these oh, careful. There we go. Yeah, those ones, that red one over there, the smaller ones, I think I'm going to take those out. Because we can cut those with a chainsaw, and then... Actually, I don't know, can I do them with the stump? I think we can do them with the stump cutter. I did that on Riverbend Springs, didn't I? So that will give us a bit more space between the bigger trees, and hopefully we'll be able to... we should get some decent sized fields in. Yeah, we'll be alright. Especially to get ourselves going and off the mark. I think we can buy another plot of land. I think the next cheapest one was... What did we pay for this? 53 or 57? Either way around. It's a similar sort of price. So, yeah. I will get back onto some logging. I've got so much I need to do. I'll get there. We are nearly full again. Let's do this. Well, it's just gone 4 o'clock in the PMs, the sun is starting to dip in the sky, and it's time to get the tree stumps out. So I think, well, tree stumps, just stumps. I'm going to cut some more of those smaller trees down as well. The stump grinder actually works fine. The one I cut down a little while ago, you just saw. Yeah, the stump grinder, when you just go back across it at a certain angle on each of the branches, it just removes them, deletes them from existence. So I'll do a few more of these, get this done, and then we'll be on to field creation. Yeah, I'm not sure about the long grain rice. I'm having a complete blank mind melt. I'm sure what I've got in my head will work. I'm sure it's right. But as soon as I started doubting myself, it's that thing of, you know, you think, no, I'm sure I'm right. But then you start to doubt yourself and you think, the problem is, if I get it wrong, I'm going to get absolutely hammered in the comments because I should know this. And in my head I'm thinking, but I do know this. I'm sure I do. But I'm not sure that I do, you know? Well then, 4:20 in the PMs, and we've got a load done. All the small trees are gone. Happy with that. Like I left some of the big ones. Oh, I don't think I'm going to take those out. I've kept hold of the stump grinder. Sorry, went a bit loud there. Kept hold of the stump grinder because the few trees that are over there that are on our property, I'm going to take those down. I might take a few out from here as well, and I'll take the stumps out. Over on the ministry land, I haven't even begun taking stumps out yet. We'll get to that at some point. But it's got a little bit bigger, hasn't it? 405,880 litres of hay. Was it worth me doing all this work? Absolutely it was. Because if we are going to do sheep and goats, we've got feed. We haven't got to worry. That's going to last us quite some time. So I'm very pleased with that. I guess what we've got to do now... So, if we put this up, we're going to have a look. And try and work out... In my mind, we've got a biggish gap here. In between these trees here. Up to our boundary, out here and back around and down to probably these two here. Have that as a long grain rice field. It's not really massive, but fairly big. And then here, maybe keep this tree in it. But this section here, out to here and up to these ones here, have as corn. And then this section here will be our area for building of the farm, possibly putting in the sheep goat pen in this section, I reckon. That's the plan. So what we need to do... This is so risky. Try and think the last time I did this. I don't know how this is going to work, but we'll try it. Have I got enough money? Start new field? Sorry. Yep. Start new field. So we go from there to there. Corner what? Why can't we see it? Is it because of the hill? Excuse me. Change placement height. Let's raise it up so we can see it a bit better at the moment. Right, that's better. Still no better. Right, up a bit higher. There we go. Can we bring it? Blimey, okay. Let's go, I reckon then, to there, then to there. Then we're going to come, yeah, we'll have all that as corn, up to here. How far does our sales then go? Yeah, probably up to there. So let's do this a little bit at a time. How we're looking? Yeah, we're all right. Let's go to there. Then we'll go to there. And then back. Yes, but the problem is now, because this is on a slope, the back end of the field, it's going to be deep. Change placement height. If we come back down again, so we got to be careful here. This is the only thing, I want it to sit flat, but it's not going to, is it? We keep bringing it down. Some of it's going to be low, some of it's going to be high. I guess all we can do is just do it. It's not going to be perfect. Finish. No. Just how much that cost us. Oh no, look at it. I brought that way down. Oh yes, because it's come down here at the back and raised at this end. We must do a bit of landscaping. We're now minus 20,000. That cost over 40 grand to do that. Oh. Okay. That is right, isn't it? We need to do that to do, because I tried to do, no, I forgot this wrong. I tried to put long grain rice into a normal field and it wouldn't let me. I just made a really horrible mistake. The problem is if I take out the pump, no, we are definitely need to do some landscaping around this. This is why I keep saying, people have been saying this a lot about the placement of stuff. There's no gradual slope to it. It's like bang, wallop, straight sides, and then the grading of it then becomes a bit of a pain. Oh, I don't know if I've done the right thing. We will definitely need to do a load of logging then, because I can't afford to do anything now. I've got no money for anything, so we're going to logging. But what I can do is we can certainly get our ploughing underway for our I can't believe how much that just cost. Woofda. Right, okay. For our cornfield, because I thought, yeah, we'll do a little bit of logging. We'll get our planter as well, because we talked about doing that. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm curious. No, I'm going to plough this first, and what I'll do, I'll plough this first, and then we'll see whether or not I can plant long grain rice into the ploughed field or that field. I'm sure we have to do that. So we'll do our cornfield further over. Did it in the right place, didn't I? I'm sure I did. It's a start anyway. Yeah, and we're not encroaching on the bridge either. So I'm going to start this field further over from the bridge as well. And we've got to allow for the fact we might have to smooth that out. Not quite what I was hoping for. Still. And away we go. This will be an alright sized field. We should have plenty of irrigation from the waterway, so we shouldn't have any problem for growth. Go all up to there. Yeah, it'll be an alright sized field. At least we're getting something done. By the end of this episode, I want to have at least one of the crops in the ground. But that being said, I don't know if that's going to work now. I know we can still plant the long grain rice, can't we? We haven't got any fertiliser. We've got no fertiliser spreader. But nothing for that yet. I don't have anything for doing lime. I don't have any lime. This is just going to be getting a crop in the ground, and our first crop, until we can earn enough money to buy all those bits of equipment, it's just going to be what it is. Yes, we could probably lease a few bits and bobs here and there and get some stuff delivered, but I think what we will do is just crack on. I want to get the outline of this field done first. I'm leaving a bit of a boundary. I'm not too bothered about the stones either. I'm not going to I might roll them back in. I don't know. I'm not too bothered. We'll leave them. I'm not collecting them for anything at the moment. So we'll come inside of these trees. That'd be the right size field for corn. Admittedly, we don't have a harvester. We could have to work on that as well. Actually, I'm going to leave a bit of a gap here because we need to take some of these trees down. Actually, do I want to take that tree? I'm going to take that tree down. That tree there, to our right. I'm going to take that down. We're going to move it out of the way and I'll disassemble it. We'll take these couple down here as well. Yeah, we'll do that. I'll allow for the fact as well that I've got to landscape a little bit down the side. I'm not going to be able to landscape with the trees in the way. Oh, I don't know. We are starting to lose light though. Turn this way there. Yeah, just taking that one tree out. It's alright actually. It's a good size. We'll leave room around the trees. It's funny, it doesn't look like it's a hill. I guess when you look at it from flat, it is. It's not like a steep hill. You think you're looking across the field as I was doing the mowing and stuff. It's fairly flat. But I guess, yeah, it's doesn't take much of a gradient to give you that sort of depth, does it? One full load of our lorry was getting us about 40 grand. So we should be okay. If I can get one full load, that'll bring us back up to where we were, but that was supposed to be taking me further on. But what are you gonna do? Join that up there, and there's our field boundary. So the rest of it is just time. So let's go back to here, have a look. That's not bad. So actually that's bigger than how we're looking if we go across. Yeah, it's not going to. It is going to need liming, isn't it? Do I still plough the inside? I don't. Let's say I haven't done long grain rice since the start. All rice. I don't think you're supposed to. Long grain maybe to give us our bonuses and things. Do I want to plough the inside of that? Don't know. Right, I'll crack on again then. We've got more to do. I might plough the inside of it. Just so it's been done. Actually, you know what? We've got our boundary. We can do that test now. With regard to the sowing. Let's grab our seeder and see if it will let me put long grain rice into here, or I've got to do it on the other field. I'm really second guessing myself, because when I put the field in and it put the pump in, I started like, hang on a minute though, do I need what? I can't remember from when I did my rice testing. Seems like an age ago. whether I needed water for long grain rice. It was just rice, wasn't it? There we go. We're on the long grain rice. If I put it in the ground here and it does allow me to, then I'll just plough back over it again. And if that doesn't, just wasted 40 grand. Hey ho! I'm sure it won't. I'm sure it won't. Yeah, crop can be planted side rice fields, yeah. I was really doubting myself then. I was really getting a bit of a flap thinking I've made a horrible mistake here. But what we'll do is we'll put the crop in and then, honestly, like I say, I can't remember. For those of you that have been doing loads and loads of this, it's just the Let's Plays I've done, I haven't really had the need to. Turn it on, drop it down. Yeah, we're golden, it will go in there. Right, brilliant stuff, at least we know now. Awesome. Right, ploughing, logging, get a full load, get that landscaping flattened out because that's going to drive me absolutely bonkers. I'll leave the seeder here and crack on with the ploughing. Laters, dudes! Let's go. getting late, and I've got some logs done. You saw me cutting down the trees. I'm going to, excuse me, I'm going to sell the logs first to get enough money so I can do the landscaping around our long grain rice field. I'm going to get the ploughing done overnight on the other field, but I'm going to do the long grain rice first because I won't have enough money yet until I do another load of logs to be able to buy the planter to put the corn in the ground. The cornfield will be good to go. I'll plough that out over the course of the night, but I want to get the landscaping done so we can get the long grain rice in. Like I say, and I need to do it in a certain order to be able to do that. I've kind of overfilled this a little bit, but I'm quite happy with that. I don't mind. Come on, fingers crossed. I want a 50 grand one. 55, we'll take it. So we're back out. Oh no, we've got a little bit more there. Look. I'll move that forward, get a little more. So we're up to 35 grand. Yes, means I can do my landscaping now, and we'll get another good log load done. If we get another 50 grand, that brings us right up. I think I need 22, 23 grand to get the seeder, so to get the planter I want. But I'll see you probably in the morning now. I'll get that ploughing done of that field. I'll get the landscaping done, and then we should be good to go for getting our long grain rice in the ground at least. And then I think I need to flood it. I can't remember about fertilising though. Oh no, we're not going to bother. We haven't got any fertiliser. I mean, I could get. There are small fertiliser spreaders. We'll have to get some fertiliser delivered because we don't have any yet. But we could get some fertiliser delivered, maybe. Anyway, yeah. See you in the morning. It's just gone 8 o'clock. We're into November. I had to wait for the sun to come up. Couldn't really see very much, but no joy with the landscaping. It just would not work. I tried to smooth out the slopes to the side of this. I tried, that wouldn't work. So I thought, I came out a little bit further. I tried to smooth. I thought, well, I tell you what I could do. I could raise the ground next to it, then smooth out. Wouldn't let me raise it. It wouldn't let me raise it next to it, but it would let me raise it further. So again, it's that note to self is doing, let's say, it doesn't look that much of a slope, but there is a slope. And I think, yeah, if you're going to be doing long grain rice fields, it's a case of making sure you flatten out your area as best you possibly can before you start, and then you can go from there. So our cornfield is ploughed and that's ready to go. And as it's turned out, because we couldn't do the landscaping, we probably have got enough to buy the planter now. But what I'm going to do to end this episode, we're going to crack on. What I've also done, we've got a little bit of landscaping. You can see the ground, this wet mud, because when this fills with water, we're getting a little bit of leakage, and that runs, obviously it's running downhill, it's going straight into the field here, from the pump from here down into the river. But we'll be good, we'll be absolutely golden. So I'm going to get the long grain rice in, get that done, and then like I say, next episode we'll be getting the corn in the ground, so buying the planter. And we're probably going to sort out the next thing, like I said about getting the sheep and stuff. We've got some sheep being sent to us, yeah, from a special location, and just more forestry, I guess. Like I saw from that clip, I'm doing things a little bit differently, in that we're still on long grain rice, something. Yeah, what I'm trying to do is, I was chopping everything up into 6 metre lengths using a measuring stick. Then I thought, why don't I just pull the trailer on the side and just cut them to length for the trailer. Now I've got the telehandler, the ability to pick up a full tree, lay them all next to each other, then bring the trailer alongside, then cut them all to length, then load them up. It's far, far easier. I probably should have gone there, shouldn't I? But I'll start in the corner. Let's get that turned on. Let's get that dropped down. And let's get our long grain rice in the ground, shall we? It's very satisfying. You know, just those little bits, those little textures, having the little water texture and stuff in there. I like, you know, like I say, it's made me smile. It's a small thing. That switch over in the ground as well. Didn't even dawn on me actually. I got kind of that thing off. Oh, let's get the ground done. Let's get it sorted out for long grain rice. Didn't cross my mind to try and level the ground first. It probably would have cost me just as much money to level the ground and then put the field in. I think that a lot of the price was the landscaping, which is why it cost 40 odd grand. Was it 43? I think it worked out at. That's fine. Raise that up, get into the corner. Oof, dear. It's taken some time. But considering we've taken a bit of barren landscape that didn't have much on it, and what I'm going to do is we're going to build a farm on it as well. I'm thinking I want to go sort of more of an old school, not necessarily like log cabins. I like the Radix games. Radix games? Is it Radix games? The Radix stuff is really, really nice. Really, really detailed. I mean, slot count's quite high, but the buildings all look absolutely fantastic. But it will come down to how much money I've got. I want to put in a farmhouse. We're going to put in a barn. I think we've got a silo. I'm trying to think what else is available. Yeah, we'll put a few bits in. I think I've missed a little bit there. Make sure I get it all perfectly. Yeah, so this is where we're going to end the episode. I'm getting the long grain rice in. No, do not hire a worker. That's not what I intended to do. Drop that down. There we go. Get right up to the edge. Okay, maybe not. Yeah, that's the end of this episode. We are making headway. We're making the most of everything, making the most of it. I hope you have enjoyed the episode. If you're still with me, thank you very much. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then of course, please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. As always, thanks for watching.